Good evening. Coming up tonight.
A fire in Russell House this afternoon temporarily closed its dining facilities.
Plus, Gamecock football battles the transfer portal.
And later, a comedian in hot water is coming to Columbia.
But first, SGTV weather reporter Nicole Smith is in the studio here with us now. Nicole, what weather can we expect to see this weekend?
Well, it's definitely that time of year to pull out those super cute mugs and fill it with some delicious hot chocolate, which will most definitely come in handy for those colder and rainy days we'll be expecting later this week. I'll have the weather forecast for you tonight and more at SGTV, the Student News at 7.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Elizabeth Martinez.
And I'm Clarissa Meier. Thanks for joining us tonight.
If you were around Russell House today at 3 o'clock, you might have noticed the fire engines on Green Street. Russell House's fire alarm went off today as a result of a fire in one of the first floor bathrooms. In a video posted to Snapchat by USC student Chris Park, a paper towel dispenser inside the bathroom can be seen going up into flames. Carolina Food Company described the incident as, quote, a facility issue that required vacating the building, end quote. As of 5 p.m. this evening, Russell House has reopened its restaurants to students. SLED is investigating the cause of the fire. A recent vandalism incident at an off-campus apartment building, the Hub, has left USC students reeling. SGTV reporter Bridget Bruchowski has the story.
I'm here at Columbia's Sumter Street parking garage, which also serves as the parking for the off-campus student apartments, the Hub. Recently, there was an incident where several students' cars' tires were slashed. Monday morning, several student cars were found with their tires slashed in Columbia's public parking garage downtown. Multiple girls sounded off in the apartment's GroupMe conversation, reporting to residents that multiple tires were flat. Some residents believe that the incident could have been a targeted event, as all the vehicles belonged to female drivers. Lindsay Gilmer spoke on her worries about her safety while in the garage.
I just feel like it shouldn't be that easy for someone to come in the garage and do that, and yeah, it kind of makes me feel uneasy about it all.
This isn't the first time Hub residents have had problems with the city's parking garage. Several residents have also experienced or heard of cars being broken into and vandalized prior to this incident. A local student expressed her fears on past vandalisms.
I've always heard kind of bad things about the Hub garage, and people drive really fast in there and cars are always getting broken into. So I don't personally park in it, but kind of scary to know that someone's going around vandalizing things.
Not all residents have experienced issues, however. Some are concerned for their safety and want the City of Columbia to implement more security in the parking garage. Tuesday evening, the Columbia Police Department posted that the suspect accused has been arrested and charged with several counts of malicious injury to personal property on their Twitter page. He is currently being held at the Alvin S. Detention Center. For SGTV, I'm Bridget Bruchowski.
Thanks, Bridget.
When you're walking through downtown, you may recognize the famous Hope sign. This beloved piece of public art was originally installed in 2020 to inspire hope during the COVID-19 pandemic. It remained up longer than expected as it was meant to be a temporary installation, but the community's enthusiasm grew strong for the sign. Its first location was on First Citizens Green and later moved to 1400 block of Main Street. Now the Hope sign is enhanced with an upgrade. The new sign has been changed from being made of plywood to being made of aluminum and vinyl film while featuring the City of Columbia flag. The local sign company Co-Light is fabricating the new sign and has expressed their pride in the project. The new structure was installed yesterday, right in time for this upcoming holiday season, so next time you're walking through Main Street, keep an eye out for the new Hope. The hunting community of South Carolina is coming together in honor of a 6-year-old boy who died in a hunting accident this past Thanksgiving. 6-year-old Avery Davis was accidentally shot and killed while out hunting with his father. The South Carolina Department of Natural Resources has released that Avery was hit with a stray bullet in his head by a 17-year-old hunting with him. The death has been ruled as accidental, but criminal charges have not yet been addressed. Avery had his final escort to the operating room at Prisma Health this past Monday, where his organs are being donated. His father posted his son's remembrance on Facebook saying, quote, "He was one of the toughest houndsmen, fishermen, outdoorsmen, and athlete that I've ever known," end quote. Now, the St. Matthews community is rallying together in support of the family and friends of Avery. This coming Saturday, in celebration of Avery's life, Twin Oak Coon Club is hosting a treeing and buddy hunting event for hunters. All proceeds from the event will be given to the Davis family.
A series of minor earthquakes continue to strike the Midlands. The United States Geological Survey, or USGS, reported an earthquake near Newberry County early yesterday morning. The USGS said the 2.09 magnitude earthquake hit about 20 miles west of Newberry around 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. This follows after a series of earthquakes were reported on Sunday and Monday in the same area. The first one was confirmed Sunday morning with a 2.2 magnitude. According to the USGS report, there have been 112 earthquakes in South Carolina since January 2021.
Did you know that the area code 803 used to cover the entire state of South Carolina? In 1955, the 864 area code in the upstate was the very first split of codes in the state. Now, the South Carolina Public Service Commission has approved a new area code for callers in the state. A new area code for the upstate will be added in 2024. The 864 area code that covers most of the upstate from Greenville, Spartanburg, and Anderson is running out of phone numbers. To accommodate for the growth, the new 821 code will overlay the existing 864, dividing the upstate into two area codes like the Midlands and Low Country currently have. The new code will be only assigned to new telephone numbers in the area, so existing users do not need to change their current phone number. Although users do need to be aware of the new 10-digit dialing that will be required. I think this is really interesting. Elizabeth and I are both from the upstate. I'm from Greenville. Elizabeth, you're from Spartanburg. So,
yeah.
I mean, this is kind of interesting.
I know, pretty soon if people keep moving to the upstate, there's going to be a different area code for
more
each
and more
city.
people.
Yeah.
Maybe South Carolina's getting a little too popular.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's going to be, I mean, every road is going to be like Woodruff Road on Saturday during the holidays.
The upstate people know what we're talking about, for sure.
South Carolina's teacher shortage has hit a 5-year high according to a recent report. The Center for Educator Recruitment, Retention, and Advancement, there were 1,613 unfilled K-12 educator jobs at the start of this school year. This is the 5th straight year the vacancies have reached a record high. This number is up nearly 10% from last year and nearly triple the number of vacancies from 3 years ago. State lawmakers raised South Carolina's starting teaching salary by $2,500 earlier this year. Several other pieces of legislation are up for consideration when state session reconvenes in January.
South Carolina is one of the hungriest states in the country. According to the Department of Agriculture, South Carolina is one of 6 states with food insecurity above the national average. 22 counties in South Carolina are served by the Harvest Hope Food Bank, and according to CEO Aaron Rowe, families are having to choose between rent and food. Rowe stated, quote, "Rent is really high right now and food prices are really high. Along with inflation, we are seeing enormous needs throughout all our agencies," end quote. As the holiday season is upon us, food banks are asking the public for donations to help those struggling with food insecurity. If you or anyone you know need more information, visit harvestthehope.org.
A local music venue is gaining traction in the Columbia community. SGTV reporter Zane Heinlein has the story.
Garrick Turner is not your average substitute teacher. He's also the owner of The Space, an underground music venue and eclectic practice space in Columbia's Rosewood neighborhood. Turner remembers playing his first show here when it opened nearly 2 decades ago.
The guy came up and started strumming my guitar, and I pushed him into the corner, and he fell very dramatically, and I was like, oh, this is different from playing at a bar.
The Space stands apart from other music venues in the city. Turner says it's because there's no red tape holding back artists.
We kind of direct you where to go and where not to go, but you put your stuff up, you set it up just like you'd be setting up in your own your own living room.
Turner's been able to meet lifelong friends like Chris Martin, who's been coming to the Spays for more than 15 years.
That's really the special part about it, is that they're coming in here and they're creating.
It started only housing Turner's bands and his friends, but this past year opened up to booking outside artists. Musicians come from up and down the East Coast. Ashley Chuhen, who goes by DJ Chooch, came from Atlanta to connect with the college town.
I feel like spaces like this just allow the artists in the community to exist and just be themselves.
Shows at the Space spread through word of mouth or the band's social media posts, creating a tight-knit community.
I found some random Instagram ads, but then you walk in and it feels like home.
It's incredible, man. It's magical. Shit. It's really just no way to explain it.
Turner only sees the Space continue to grow, as shows consistently fill out with more than 50 people.
So they want to be in it. They want to be in the band. They want to feel like they're a part of the experience.
For Carolina Insider, I'm Zane Heinlein.
Thanks, Zane. Coming up after the break, SGTV weather reporter Nicole Smith will let us know if we can expect this cool weather to stick around. Stay close.
Welcome back, Carolina. I'm Nicole Smith. Here's your look at tonight's forecast. You can see we're having temperatures as low as 39 degrees tonight with those winds going 5 miles per hour. Now, this is what tomorrow is looking like by the day. You see here in the morning, we're gonna have some cloudier weather and as well as in the afternoon. And when it hits that evening time, that's when those showers are gonna start. Now, we're going to start with some colder temperatures here in the morning, hitting 42 degrees. So if you have any early classes, anything like that, definitely grab some sweaters, a glove, scarf, anything like that. It will warm up a little bit throughout the day, but not that warm. It's going to hit all the way to 63, so definitely make sure you bundle up for the day. Now, looking at Saturday and that day by day, we're going to have rain all throughout the day. Here, we're going to have some warmer temperatures than Friday. We're going to start in the 60s and increase all the way to those high 60s. But we're still going to have that rain, so rain jackets, umbrellas, all of that is for that day. Now, looking at what this week is looking like, you can see we're going to have our men's basketball game here on Friday, but we're okay because that's indoors, so that rain should not do anything to bother us. But we are going to have rain all this weekend, so definitely just be prepared for that. But that sun's going to come back out starting next week. We're going to have some clouds with us as well, and then some colder temperatures. You can see we're going to start in those 50s, but decrease all the way into those 30s, hitting 33 here on Wednesday. So definitely don't put those jackets away, bundle up because it's going to get pretty cold. Now to wrap everything up and ending on all those headlines, you see we're going to have afternoon showers here on Friday. Showers are going to start around 4 or 5 o'clock. So if you're coming from class or you're leaving or anything like that, just make sure you're prepared, grab an umbrella, all of that. We're going to have rain all day Saturday and then rain here in the morning on Sunday. So it's going to start raining Friday and be consistent all throughout the weekend and stop in the morning time Sunday. And then we're going to have high winds here on Sunday. So high winds and rains, not going to be some great conditions. So definitely bundle up, or even just stay inside and get some hot chocolate and watch a movie, anything like that. That's all I have for tonight. Coming up after the break, SGTV sports reporter Violet Raftery and Allie will have the latest in sports. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Violet Raftery.
And I'm Allie Popielarczyk, here to give you the latest in sports. Although football season is over for the Gamecock fans, next year's roster is beginning to come to light. Yesterday, Gamecock Nation got a thank you note and a special announcement in an Instagram post from quarterback Spencer Rattler. He's headed to the NFL draft. Rattler expressed his gratitude to the coaches that brought him into this community 2 years ago and demonstrated how appreciative he is for the time he has had as a Gamecock. The Gamecock football team is seeing a different kind of exit from the football squad via the transfer portal. Linebacker and edge rusher Donovan Westmoreland is rumored to enter the transfer portal as soon as it opens this upcoming Sunday, according to the state newspaper and Sports Illustrated. Despite being named as the 44th best linebacker for the 2022 class, according to On3 Athletics, Westmoreland made just 2 on-field appearances this season during the first 2 games against North Carolina and Furman. Westmoreland will reportedly be joining the portal with a trio of Gamecock receivers, including Juice Wells and starting kicker Mitch Jeter, though they have not filed for paperwork to transfer.
Violet, it's going to be interesting to see how the football team starts shifting through the next couple weeks. Every time I open my phone, I see new reports of rumors of people entering the portal, so seeing what happens Sunday night will be interesting to see.
And of course, there's always the other side of that, is who in the portal may be coming here as opposed to leaving, so a lot of changes, but I mean, they're still just looking to field, hopefully, maybe a team with a better record next season.
We'll see how it turns out after Sunday.
And the Gamecocks have 8 swimmers in the Toyota US Open. The US Open serves as a qualifying event for the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. Nicole Toe, Tatiana Sackleton, Brecken Gormley, Dylan Scholes, Michael Leiterovsky, Mark Spurkin, Connor Fry, and Raymond Przinski are in Greensboro, North Carolina now. Fry was the first to hit the water last night. He ranks 20th of 32 in the 800-meter freestyle with a time of 8 minutes, 15.20 seconds. On to this morning, Fry clocks in at 4:0.82 to rank 45th of 63 in the 400-meter freestyle. Przinski clocks in at 2 minutes, 5.68 seconds to rank 39th of 64 in the 200-meter individual medley. In the 50-meter freestyle, Spurkin clocks in at 22.81 seconds and Leiterovsky at 23.96. Spurkin ranks 31st and Leiterovsky 81st out of 85. No South Carolina swimmers advanced to tonight's finals, but the Gamecocks will get another chance starting tomorrow morning. They're set to swim in 13 more heats through the end of the meet. The USA Swimming Toyota US Open wraps up on Saturday.
Gamecock Volleyball wrapped up its 2023 season over the weekend with a 3-0 match win over the 8th-ranked Tennessee Lady Volunteers, winning by just 2 or 3 points per set. South Carolina was able to rack up 50 kills, 48 assists, and 34 digs throughout the match, with major contributions in each category from sophomore Elena Johnson, junior Claire Wilson, and junior Lauren McCutcheon, respectively. Head coach Tom Mendoza stated, quote, "We hadn't gotten a top 25 win on our court yet, or a top 10 win on our court yet this year. Last opportunity to do it, and we took advantage of it," end quote. 2 of the Gamecocks' biggest moments of the year came from senior Ellie Ruprich hitting 400 career blocks, and outside hitter Riley Whitesides passing 1,000 career kills to close out her senior year run. The Gamecocks finished the season 11-16 and will be back in the Carolina Volleyball Center next fall.
Former Gamecock baseball great Jackie Bradley Jr. is reportedly expected to retire. MLB insider John Heyman of the New York Post broke the news, and a number of Boston-based media were quick to commemorate Bradley's career, including the Boston Globe, Boston Herald, New England Sports Network, and Sports Illustrated's Pat McAvoy, who covers the Red Sox. Bradley is regarded for his strong defensive performance across the outfield at Fenway Park, his 2016 All-Star season and 2018 Gold Glove, as well as 2 World Series titles, headline his professional years. Bradley also celebrated 2 College World Series with the Gamecocks in his collegiate career. And so the story goes, Bradley was drafted by the Red Sox out of South Carolina in 2011. He made his MLB debut in 2013 and spent 8 seasons in Boston before heading to Milwaukee, back to Boston, and then on to Toronto. Then, after a short stint in Kansas City, the Royals designated Bradley for assignment in early June. The now free agent has yet to confirm whether the retirement rumors are true. Of course, his alleged departure from MLB would not mark the end to former Gamecocks in the pros. Fellow South Carolina baseball alumni Jordan Montgomery and Christian Walker recently represented their major league teams in the 2023 World Series. Over on the court, South Carolina led the SEC with 8 former players on the 2023 WNBA rosters: Tiffany Mitchell, Asia Wilson, Alicia Gray, Ty Harris, Aaliyah Boston, Letitia Meier, Victoria Saxton, and Zaya Cook. Now, Gamecock football flaunts their carousel of Gamecocks in the NFL on the video board at Williams-Brice. That long list includes Jadeveon Clowney, Debo Samuel, and many more. I think Gamecocks can just be excited to still see the bigger stage that a lot of these former players have gone to. Because, I mean, SEC sports is a big stage as is, but we're talking World Series, we're talking NFL. It doesn't really get bigger than that for some of these former Gamecocks.
Exactly, and it's nice to have a representation like the big screen at Willie B to show the other student athletes what they can do in the next couple years.
Absolutely. Coming up after the break, SGTV entertainment reporters Chloe Castain and Emma Connelly will lay down the talk of the town. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Carolina. I'm Emma Connelly.
And I'm Chloe Castain, here to give you the latest in this week's entertainment.
Famous heartthrob comedian Matt Rife will be bringing his stand-up show to the Soda City next weekend. The sold-out show is at the Township Theater on December 8th at 7 p.m. Rife just released a Netflix special, causing the show to quickly sell out and leaving those who still want a ticket to use resale websites instead of Ticketmaster. His Netflix show also caused some controversy, with fans saying some of his jokes went a bit too far. Rife responded to allegations through Instagram stories, none of which were heartfelt to viewers. If you are interested in attending the show, visit resale websites or the Township Auditorium box office for more information.
And if you're looking for something to put you in the Christmas spirit on campus, Cockbuster has you covered. Tomorrow night, the movie theater will be showcasing a Christmas classic, Polar Express, and you don't want to miss it. If you haven't seen the Polar Express, it's about a boy who sees a mysterious train outside of his window. After investigating, he is invited aboard by the conductor, where he and the friends he make along the way venture to the North Pole and meet Santa Claus. And the best part is, you can watch it from the comfort of campus. There will be a pre-trivia night film game at 6:30 p.m. and the movie will start at 7. And as always, there will be free popcorn, drinks, and swag all at the Russell House Theater. For more information, you can visit the university's calendar. Now, I don't know about you, Emma, but The Polar Express is actually one of the first Christmas movies I remember watching, so I'll definitely be there in Russell House Theater to go ahead and give it a watch.
I think it's one of the first I remember watching too, but in my household, we're definitely fans of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I think a comedy take on the Christmas spirit is so fun and so entertaining to watch.
Absolutely, and one of our more modern films is Elf, but there's just something about those traditional Christmas films that you really just, you can't do much about it.
I could watch Christmas movies all day and not get bored.
Absolutely. And like we were just talking about, it's Christmas time in Columbia, which means it's also Christmas time in Casey. And while the KC City Hall Christmas tree was lit at 6 p.m. today, there are still so many fun events to kick off Christmas right over the bridge. Tomorrow night, there will be carols along the Riverwalk from 6 to 8 p.m. The event will begin at the N Avenue entrance of the KC Riverwalk and will have carolers and local musicians perform for half a mile. This Saturday, the city's Christmas Traditions Old and New event will feature a night for visitors to explore the Casey Historical Museum, see decorated trees, buy local community groups, and of course, visit Santa's Workshop. Saturday's event will also feature a lantern tour of Casey's Christmas traditions through the last 300 years, a European-style Christmas market, and more. For more information, you can follow the City of Casey on Facebook or visit kcsc.gov.
Spotify fans, get excited. For the 10th year in a row, Spotify has dropped its annual feature, Spotify Wrapped, yesterday. Spotify collects user data from January 1st to October 31st every year and compiles it for users to view. Subscribers can see their top artists, songs, and even how many minutes in total they listened to music over the past year. This year, fans also got the surprise of getting a video from some of their top artists, such as Taylor Swift, Dua Lipa, and even Hozier. Spotify also released its global data, saying that the #1 streamed song on Spotify this year was Flowers by Miley Cyrus. Apple users also got their own version of Wrapped, though some argue it isn't as good as Spotify. To access your Wrap, type Wrapped into your Spotify search bar and hit the first result listed under the genre. So I actually am an Apple user, but I do this because I got it gifted to me in the 8th grade and I just haven't wanted to transfer my music over. I think the Apple feature is just as good as the Spotify feature, but I understand why some are into it, though. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
No, and you know what? I don't fault you for that. I'll say that on camera, but in the back of my mind, absolutely, I do fault you for that. It's an epidemic at the end of the day, but hopefully we phase out of it. I completely agree with you about Apple Music, or as far as Spotify goes, being better. But my Spotify Wrapped actually really surprised me.
Surprised me too.
Right, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so my #1 song was Kill Bill, and I've been in a really healthy relationship for a year. So I think it's just because SZA is on the verse.
You know, I kind of have the same thing going. My #1 was Champagne Problems, and I don't really have any champagne problems, so doesn't really make any sense.
Who does these days? Who does? We're just living the dream.
For real.
We can get into that later, but that's going to be all your entertainment news for tonight. After the break, we'll have tonight's edition of Carolina Canines. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
And finally, tonight's Carolina Canine features Daisy. This happy gal was submitted by USC students Kelly Finnegan and Eden Wellens.
Daisy is a 10-year-old old terrier mix who loves listening to Taylor Swift. In her free time, you can find her enjoying the sunshine in her backyard. I love Daisy. I mean, T Swift all the way. I'm a big fan.
She's a fellow Swiftie. See, I feel like her favorite album would probably be probably Evermore.
Evermore.
Yeah. Although she doesn't like
The Sunshine
she would have
Map,
many.
maybe.
No champagne problems for her either.
Yeah, we agree with Emma and Chloe.
That wraps up tonight's edition of Student News at 7.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtv@usc.com. For SGTV, I'm Elizabeth Martinez.
And I'm Clarissa Meier. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina, forever to be.